All right. Hello, Brittany and Kristen. I know I've been talking to you, but I'm kind of starting over. So we're going to be working today. This is flow design / slow flow. We go a little slower so that, one, it heats your body up a lot and it gives you flexibility along with increased breath work. So typical vinyasa flow is 1 breath, 1 movement with an occasional, you'll hold a pose for 3 breaths. Slow flow is typically holding each thing for 2 to 3 breaths, maybe even sometimes a little longer. And everything we're doing today, this is maybe not always a traditional class. The beginner to advanced can do this course, this class. We're going to be working on some challenging poses today, but whether you can get into them or not is not the point. It's just that we're going to do the work to gain the muscle to one day be able to get into these poses. So if you get the poses, that's great. If you don't get into them, it's not the end of the world. It's actually you practicing so one day you can, and you can't expect to be an expert at something that you've never tried. So just keep that in mind. Like, one of the most sad things I saw when I owned my gym is the New Year's resolutions when they'd come in, they'd work out so hard for 2 weeks and think, well, I've been crushing it for 2 weeks, a month, then why am I not skinny yet? And I'm like, well, first, there's a whole method. It's more about eating and exercising, but 1 month of 2 hours a day is not as healthy as little increments over time for a long extent. I'd rather see someone work out for 20 minutes a day, maybe half an hour for a year, than I would the people that come in for 2-3 hours. I'm like, they're not staying long. So just recognize that in this journey, instead of being like, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't get it. I can't do it. Just recognize it's a journey. It's a process of evolution. You have to gain muscle fibers. Your muscle fibers are like this at first. Even for bodybuilders that would come to class, they would be like, what is this all the time? Because, they had big muscles. They were doing a lot of workouts at the gym, but this is so different. It's not even termed a workout. We're strengthening your structure. You're tightening the muscles around your bones. There's muscles you will not even know you had until you do these poses. But the strange thing is we use these, a lot of the reason why people get injured is because they do need these muscles strengthened, like your pelvic floor. There's a lot of muscles in your body that you do need strengthened to have a more functional life, but we sometimes neglect them. So that's all we're going to do today. Just a short warm up, and then we're going to move into some poses to get our bodies moving. So, okay, any questions? I'm having some allergies. Okay, let's start to move and breathe. Okay, come to your hands and your knees. And actually, Kristen, I'm going to have you, let's actually have Kristen warm us up with, no, Brittany, we'll have you warm us up with Sun Salutation A. And then Brittany, you do A, Kristen, you do B. Just do 2 times through for each so we can get warmed up.
Okay, so go now. All right. Come to standing. You can't see me, but you know what to do. Hands up. Flex and pull down. Exhale. Inhale, hands up. Flex down again. Inhale, hands up. Dive forward to a forward fold. Take a half lift. Plant your hands down, step back into plank. Chaturanga down into upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Hold for 3 breaths. Step forward. Pull down. Take a half lift. All the way up. Hands to prayer. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, flex your hands down. Inhale, reach up. Take a forward fold. All the way down. Half lift. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Chaturanga down into upward dog. Exhale back into downward dog and hold. Step forward, fold forward, take a half lift, rise up, hands to prayer.
Good job, Britt. Okay, Kristen, let's go with you. Let's do 2 times on Sun Salutation B.
Okay, inhale, rise up, flex down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands at your ankles and then move into chair pose. Fold forward. Take a half lift. Plant your hands and step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Then lift your right leg to the sky. Look at your hands. Exhale, step your foot all the way forward. Drop your heel and rise up into warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back into plank. Exhale, inhale to upward dog. Push back into downward dog. Lift your left leg to the sky. Look at your hands and step your foot all the way through. Drop your heel and come into warrior one. Plant your hands. Step your foot back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, push back to downward dog. Hold it for 3 breaths. Step forward. Take a half lift. Sink back down. Move into chair pose. Then inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, flex down. Inhale, rise up. Fold forward. Move into chair pose. Come back down. Take a half lift. And plant your hands and step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Use your core and push back to downward dog. Lift your right leg. And then step it through to your hands. Come into warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back into plank. Chaturanga to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Left leg to the sky. Step it through to your hands. Drop your heel and go into warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back into plank. Chaturanga to upward dog. Push back to downward dog. Hold it for 3 breaths. Step forward to your hands. Take a half lift. Sink back down and then move into chair pose. Then inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer.
Great job, ladies. Are you feeling a little warmer?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best. I forgot my phone stand. I have my tripod, but So just bear with me if my head cuts off a little bit today. I think that's going to be best right there. Okay, so a couple of tips before we start working on these poses. We are, towards the end, going to create a design, a flow design around it, but we are going to practice. We're going to do the flow design first, and at the very end, we're going to practice those poses because you'll be warm enough and open enough to be able to do that. So the poses that Kristen and Brittany suggested we add today are a couple of arm balances, and I'm going to just show them to you really quick so you know why we're doing the poses we're doing. I forget the name of this one and I apologize, I'll look it up after. But one important thing is to drill your arms into the ground so that you're not sinking into the pose, but you're muscling. I always imagine my hand going through the floor. It gives you just this superior strength for some reason when you're pushing that energy there and out the heels. So one of the poses we'll be doing is here, where you lift your back leg up. So I'm balancing on my arms. So when you're doing poses, when I say things like bring your knee to the elbow, get your knee all the way to the elbow. It's hard. Don't cheat yourself out of it though, because you're getting that core strength to be able to get up into that. So if I say move your knee up closer to your armpit, it's going to be challenging, but just keep trying to do it until it comes. There's a difference of muscles that work when you're getting on the inside versus the outside. You're working all these tiny muscle fibers to be able to do that pose. So the prep work for the pose is harder than the actual pose, but it's what gives you that strength and the ability to stack your bones so you can get into those poses. The next one is called chin pose that was requested we work on, which is just here. You drop your knee down. I'm trying to find where you can see me best. And then you come up, and eventually you'll get to here. So that one requires a lot. It's honestly, you have to get your upper back open to be able to get the core strength to get into that one. So we're going to do back bends today specifically, core strengtheners, hip openers, and that's going to be kind of our focus for today because of the poses that were requested. So we're going to go ahead and start. Let's start in mountain pose. The top half of my body will cut off, but that's okay. So come to mountain pose. Set your intention. Your body will follow the commands of your mind. So what's your intention for the day? Do you want strength, endurance, courage to try, faith over fear? What is it that you need? Have that mindset so that when the time comes that something's challenging, you're like, well, this is what I am, and strength would do the work to get into this. Or, finding faith would be daring enough to try something that I fear. So choose your mantra for the day, set that intention, and take about 3 breaths to get there. Then inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, flex down. Dive forward, hands to your ankles, just like we did. We want to just balance our nervous system. So bounce your hips up and down. Sometimes our hips can get out of place, and I want you to just kind of wiggle your knees back and forth. You can even touch your hands down to the ground. So I'm just moving one knee forward and back just to get your hips in alignment. Okay, so from there, just bring your hands in front of your knees. Pull your chest forward. So you want to feel that in your upper back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, flexing your core. Inhale. Can you feel that in your upper back, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Drop I don't know how to explain that, besides that you push your elbows against your knees and pull forward. It's very subtle, but you can feel it. Okay, you're going to drop your hands down and just step slowly your feet back. Okay, plank pose. We're going to do a chaturanga. So look forward, push your heels back, chaturanga, and push up. You want that core to flex. So we're skipping up dog for now. Chaturanga, hold it. Inhale, push up. Try touching those elbows to the ribs. You need it for chin pose. Exhale, forward, look forward. Push up. Exhale, down to the belly. Reach your hands back. Grab your feet back. And kick your feet back. Hold this for 5 breaths. Kristen, while we're holding this, I want you to explain again, when you did 0 to hero to where you started learning advanced poses, did you think that they would come so well to you, I guess?
No, I did not. I would watch you do things and I would think, what in the heck? I'll never be able to do that. But I think getting that thought out of my head and just trying, I was surprised at the things that I could do. So it was cool.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna release. You always want to relax your back after. So make sure in this pose that you're squeezing your knees, kicking your feet back. Something that really helps me is to say, I choose to be open. Just because the more emotionally open you are, the more your back will let you flex and move and gain that mobility, sink back. Because flexibility is of your mind. If you're tight-wadded in your brain, if you're anxious in your brain, you're going to be anxious in your body. So we're trying to just let go of things so our bodies will let us do what we want to do. Take a couple breaths. And exhale. Okay, so my feet are uncurled. The laces of my feet are on the ground. Instead of moving to plank, I'm going to move right into upward dog. So lift up. In upward dog, sometimes your shoulders want to hunch forward. You're going to pull them back, kind of gaze up. Only my hands and feet are on the ground right now. And I want you to practice sucking your belly button towards your spine to pull you back to downward dog. So I was using my core so much, my mat just curled. It went like that. I'm using my core to pull me back, and then uncurl your feet. Really try to touch your chest to your thighs here. If that means you have to bend your knees slightly, that's okay. All right, we're gonna just bring that right knee forward, touch the knee to the elbow. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to elbow, other left knee to elbow. Inhale back. Roll forward to plank, lower down to your belly. Reach your hands back, grab those feet. 3 breaths, so we're still kind of just warming up. One more breath. And exhale, release, come briefly to child's pose. All right. We're gonna go back to plank pose and come to downward dog. I want you to step your feet forward, come to a squatting position, just to get your hips a little bit open. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Okay, we're gonna kind of flow now and maybe choose 7 poses or so to go through over and over again so you can build the strength to get into these poses. So take a deep breath in. Remember your intention. I am strong, courageous. Keep pulling your chest forward. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and exhale. Drop your hands down to the mat and step those feet back. Plank pose. Let's do 2 chaturanga. So exhale, elbows to ribs. Inhale, push up. Keep pushing the heel out, the energy of the heels, the energy out the heels, and pull your chest forward, elbows to ribs. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop down to your belly. Reach your hands back. Clasp your hands together. Try to keep your palms together and pull back. Gaze forward, try not kinking your neck. We've got to get an upper back open for chin pose. Okay, release those hands, plant them. Briefly come to child's pose. And then downward dog. Okay, we're gonna do the right side first. Lift your right leg up. Bend that knee over, wild thing. 2 breaths, look over your hand. Drop that hand down, step that foot forward. Right foot comes forward, look forward. Inhale and exhale. And then you're gonna walk up and over to Skandasana. So sink your hips down, hands come out to the side. I'm running into the door. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I want you to move back forward. Plant that left hand, right hand to the sky. And then drop that hand down, scoop that right foot back. And this is called hanging star. So drop your knee down, prep for chin pose. So you're here, it's that same chaturanga. So those push-ups are important. Just come here, my toes off the ground, only my knees down, and drop your chin down. Lift that back leg up. Okay, then we're gonna bring that left leg forward, step the right foot forward, squat down. And let's start on that other side. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale. You can roll your wrist out here. Sometimes people get sore wrists from this. Make sure your hands aren't ever pointing out or too much in. You want them straight forward and planted on the ground. And put the weight between your middle finger and your thumb. And it creates good balance in your wrist. Okay, fold forward briefly, sway side to side, and go ahead and step these feet back. Plank pose. Hold it. Chaturanga 2 times, so exhale down, try looking forward the whole time. Inhale, push up. Exhale, sink down, push up, lower to the belly. Reach back, grab your hands, palms together. So usually my fingers are just interlaced, but you want even deeper. Keep your palms together if you can. 3 breaths. So this is kind of strengthening your lower back. That's a similar lock you'll want when you're in a lot of these poses. Okay, drop that hand down. Push briefly back to child's pose. We're moving straight into upward dog, so my legs and my feet are still on the ground. Come to upward dog. Roll to downward dog. Use your core to roll back. Left foot up. Flip it over to wild thing. So you need this heart opener for what we're trying to do. Look over your hand. Drop that hand down. Bring your left knee to your left elbow. Hold it. Inhale, reach back. Step that foot through to your hand. Twist. Move over to Skandasana. And then move back. Plant your hands. Left foot comes back to the sky. Make your way to chin pose. Hanging star, so knee forward, foot down. And step that foot through, come to a squat. Are you feeling warm?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We just got to heat the body from the inside out to protect it from injury, to get it prepped. Roll those wrists out. Remember your mantra for the day. So everything we do is prep for more because you're warming and waking these muscles up. If you were to try to instantly go into the pose, it probably won't come. But once you open up, warm up, your body's more willing to let you do things you couldn't have done before. Okay, so we're gonna start to try some of these poses. So I want you to fold forward, take a half lift, exhale, plant your hands, step your feet all the way back to chaturanga, lower, rise up, lower, inhale up, come to the belly, reach your hands back. Take a deep breath in. Just say in your mind, I choose to be open. And release those hands down. Child's pose. This aligns your hips, your nervous system. Okay, move forward to upward dog. Roll back to downward dog. Right foot to the sky, flip it over to wild thing. And I just view this as the perfect setup. So let me turn a little towards you. Okay, so in wild thing, if you do it right, you drop your hand down. This elbow is gonna slightly pop out. And you want your knee on the outside of that elbow, right there. So it'll look like this. This elbow drops down and you pull your chest forward to try that pose. So both of you come to downward dog, or flip it into wild thing actually. So right foot up, bend it over. Kristen, lift your hips more in wild thing. Or straighten them more. There you go. Yes. Brittany, bring that arm more over your ear. Right there. Okay, now drop that hand down and just try gliding that knee to the outside of the elbow. Can you feel that in your core, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay, now your other elbow is gonna come to your rib for right now. I'm not strong enough for the other way, so that's just kind of a kickstand for you. And then the more you pull your chest forward once you're in that awkward position, it will feel weird, then you can get into it. So I'm gonna demo on the left side so you can see me. So your wild thing, I think you'll be able to see better from this side. Drop that hand down. I'm pulling, my shoulders are like 4 inches over my hands. So let me back up so you can see my hands. Wild thing, here, I'm coming way over my wrists. So try just going from wild thing and getting that knee as close to your armpit, popping that elbow out, dropping the other one to your rib as you can. So go ahead and try that again.
Are we doing it on the left or the right side?
The right. I just showed you from the left because
Okay.
see it on the camera better. There you go, Kristen. You got it. Were you surprised? Have you done that before, Kristen? I don't even know.
I've tried it a few times.
That was really good. Okay, Brittany, I was watching Kristen. I wasn't watching you. Let me see you do it.
It doesn't happen. I am not prepared yet.
It's okay.
That's as far as I can get.
That's perfect. I mean, how long have you been trying this one, Kristen?
Oh, I don't know, probably off and on for a month.
Yeah, so this is your first time, Brittany. How did you feel the first time you did it, Kristen?
Like, I'm not strong enough to do this.
It's really bizarre. So, Brittany, the one thing that I would say is lift your hips a little more. So your hips are sinking down. You're sinking into the pose. You want to muscle, or you want to stack into it, if that makes any sense. So watch the difference. Let me see if I can demo. So you were coming right here, and you're kind of sinking your hip down. That's really hard. So if you even just do it from here, just practice more straight on. You don't want to turn your body so much to the side. You're still straight forward instead of to the side.
Okay.
Try it again, both of you.
I have to drop my knee for a minute before I can go into it. Is that okay? Like, not the one that's on my elbow, but.
Totally okay. So she's saying she's going like this. And that knee. And that's totally fine. That actually will probably help your back straighten. If your spine can get straight, your core will flex more. So try to breathe, get all the air out of your belly so you can flex it and do that kind of bond a lock we talked about. We'll keep working on that, but that really helps in these two. So try it again, Britt.
Okay. That's as far as I can go. But
That's
I can,
if you
with keeping your hips up. It's not necessarily easy to do, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's all we care about is just that you're trying. So just know if you keep challenging it, pushing yourself more and more to that edge, it's going to come. So I would also say try to get your knee more on the outside of your tricep.
Okay.
There's a few different poses. So one-legged curl, I can't get to it from there, but some people can. One-legged, I don't know how to do that. So one-legged curl is stacked on your arm where you're like this. But this one is on the outside.
Okay.
And so keep trying to get that on the outside of the arm and kind of popping that arm out. So,
okay,
that looks good. Let's come back to downward dog and finish off because I think chin pose is going to come. I think chin pose is more doable to get in than that, or at least the prep work for it is. So we went from there. You're going to reach your foot back, step your foot through to the hand, and just twist, right hand to the sky. Make sure that knee and that ankle are in the same line. Move over to Skandasana. This hip lets me get lower. Whatever you do, just keep your heel on the ground. Hands can come out. You can take a bind if you would like. And then come back forward. We're on our wrists a lot, so be gentle with them. We're gonna do chin pose, so stretch that foot back and glide it through to your knee. So you're gonna come up. So let me turn to the side for this one. You're here. And now all I want you to do is lift that back foot up. Your elbows are in your ribs, but you curl that toe and start lifting it up. There you go. Just keep looking forward, try to get that back bend in the upper back. Where do you feel that, Kristen?
All over.
Okay, keep going, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The one thing I want to say is in chin pose, it's important that your forearms, this part, is not here, but clear forward. So you want that. If they're curved, you're not going to be able to get it. So let's go to three-legged dog again. Let's try that one more time. Right leg up. Bring your knee as close to your wrist as you can. Pull that chest forward. Lift. My elbows are touching my ribs. And lift that back leg up. Good job. Whew. was good. Britt, I don't know what you said. You're on mute.
That's just quite the challenge.
It is. Okay, so let's try that on the other side. So what that flow looked like without those, let me show you one more time. We'll do that on the right side one more time. You came to squat, back, chaturanga, chaturanga, down, back. This is what we're really doing. Child's pose, upward dog, downward dog, wild thing. Then you do that pose, and then back, and then chin pose. And so that's all we're really doing. But as you can see, you can keep advancing from a basic, which is still challenging, to working on advanced poses. So the more you work on it, the one day it will just come. So I've always been surprised at the one day when it comes. You go from thinking, I don't know how I'm ever going to do it, but I'm going to keep trying, to holy cow, I'm doing it. And it kind of is mind blowing. You're almost like fall out of poses because you're like, did I just do that? And it's just like so shocking. Have you ever experienced that, Kristen? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's super exciting.
It is very shocking. So let's do that on the other side, and then we'll kind of wrap things up so you can keep practicing. Okay, come to downward dog. Step your feet to your hands. Squat. Get those hips open. Just be gentle with yourself. If you need to come up here, like my knee's been bugging me a little lately, so I don't know why, but this feels better. So I keep going lower than I don't really need to do that. So plant your hands, step your feet back. Let's do those 2 chaturanga. And then belly, hands come back. Take a deep breath. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, left foot to the sky. Flip it over to that hand. Okay, this is where we're gonna try on that side. Remember, I don't care if you get it, just try. And drop your hand down. Exhale, knee pops out. Just try getting that foot either here or here until you can raise up. I'm just watching you. Good job, Britt. Tuck that other elbow under your rib more. So your right, yes. Yep, it's just super awkward till it comes. Yes, that looks so good. Good job. Nice, Kristen. I'm telling you, Brittany, I promise you, Kristen was doing the same thing you're doing right now when she first tried. And it looks really good. You're building the strength to get to that point.
It actually felt better. Not the very last time, but the time before that, I could almost feel like, okay, wait, this might be possible, not today, but someday.
Yeah. I love it. I love how much you guys try. I want you to know, I can tell my students that are like the diligent, like they really want it. And I can feel that from you both. So you're gonna get it because I know you really want it. And so just keep practicing. And I would also, I'm a strong believer, it says in the scriptures, where my people lack vision, they perish. So if you capture that vision of you doing it, visualize what it's going to look like and feel like, and you're going to get into it. You got to believe that you can first, and that happens by visualizing it and thinking, how's my core going to flex when I get here? you kind of create these patterns in your mind to be like, oh, I'm making a way. It's not there yet, but I'm creating what I think it's going to look like, and then I'm going to try it. And then you're going to create more because it's that spiritual concept. Things are created spiritually first, and then they physically happen. It's no different than your practice. Whenever I'm teaching young students to do crow with teenagers, I'm like, before you try, visualize yourself doing it. Instead of saying, I can't, just say, what's it going to look like when I do? And they get it. I very rarely have people that don't get into crow when they visualize it first. So just visualize yourself being this master. Sometimes I'll put on epic music as part of that visualization because I'm like, yeah, I'm a freaking ninja. Back up. Anything else is trying to stop me. I know it's bizarre, but it just helps me to be like, yeah, I'm conquering my life and I'm practicing, and failing is a part of practicing, and the only people who count are the ones that are in the arena. And the arena means that not only are people watching you fail, sometimes they're also watching you try, but the crowd doesn't count, you count because you're trying. So that's like when like when people talk about Peter falling because of doubt in the water, I'm like, shut up. Who else got out of the boat? Nobody. So you're walking on your own water when you're trying. So, hey, we're going to finish off that flow. So let's try that just one more time, coming from here. Drop that hand down, come forward. Another thing that really helps is looking forward. I didn't mention that because I wasn't doing it. I was kind of hunched. Pull forward. There you go, Britt. Elbow to rib. So pull the energy through your chest and out your heel, and your core will naturally flex. That looks so good. Okay, so from there, we're gonna go back up. So we went from wild thing to there, to just step that foot forward and twist. Move to Skandasana, just some hip openers to balance us out. If you need another back bend, just go like this. Move back forward. Plant your hands, left foot to the sky. Chin pose. Look forward. Drop down. And to start, remember this is the best way I can, yes, Brittany, that looked good. So you're here, here. And eventually that will look like this, this. Squeeze those thighs together, Kristen. How's that feeling?
Woo. I should mute so you can hear me breathing.
No, I like that I can. So walk me through what you're doing and do it again.
Walk you through? Is that what you said? Okay. I'm gonna go downward dog. Lift my left leg. Bring that forward. Drop my knee. Bending elbows into my ribs. Lifting the right leg, straightening the bent knee. Trying to squeeze it.
What a ferocious Moga Ninja Warrior. Crushed it. That's so good. Oh my heck. Okay, so if you could practice anything, Brittany and Kristen, pike ups. Get a weight. I posted a little extra side video in the group. Do walking weights across the floor. You're gonna get abs like you never maybe had before. You could do it at the studio too. Just if you have hardwood floor, get a towel, set a 25-pound weight on it, and pike across the floor, and then do those knee to elbows. So as many of these and these as you can. It's kind of nice doing it with weights because then you get the outer and inner muscle. So sometimes I even suggest, like I have these ankle weights that I can strap on my ankle. Sometimes I'll do yoga with that just to get extra opposing force, so I have to flex extra hard. So that's what I would suggest doing. Okay, we're gonna start to wrap up. How are you feeling about everything? Okay. Okay, so just come like your knees to your chest, forehead to knees. When you put your neck like that, just make sure you're rebalancing it by stimulating the thyroid, getting that neck stretched out. I just want you to know I'm a strong believer. The more in tune you get with your body, that's what we're doing. We're getting in tune with our bodies. When you take care of your body, which is the temple, I think you do. If you do it in the right way, you have better communion with God and with other people. Because you're paying attention, you'll start to notice, you'll naturally start craving healthier foods because you can move better when you don't have inflammation in your body. Okay, come back up. Let's twist. Bring your left hand to your right leg. Grab the outside of it. So that's getting your right T. A lot of knee struggles come from that. Let's do the other side. And I invite you to take your own personal Shavasana. Go ahead and come back down. Okay, I'll have you just lay on your backs on your own. Take a couple minutes to just rest, be still. It's actually the most important part of yoga. So make sure you take a moment to be still. Be proud of yourself for trying. Know that over time it's going to come. So Brittany, give yourself, I would say, a solid month of practicing and you're going to be like, oh, okay, there it is. So you did great. And Kristen, keep practicing and you're going to be able to hold it for longer periods of time. So next thing I want you to work on is starting, and I need to do this too because I haven't been, is starting to squeeze those thighs together. Any questions?
No, that was kind of what I wondered, if you are supposed to squeeze together and if your feet, if you should flex your feet.
Yeah, I think the feet are more pointed typically. It just helps the extension because if you think if they're flexed, you want them to lengthen.
Okay.
I actually don't know if it matters. I'm not saying that because that's the correct way. That's just what my logic is saying. I don't know if that's actually correct though, so I'll get back to you. Okay, any other questions?
Nope.
I'm so proud of you both. I love watching people try and it motivates me to keep trying. And I want you to know, like, when I have the opportunity to teach, it improves my life as well. And I learned so much from all of you. When I'm watching you practice, I can't tell you how many times or just little things you guys say that I'm like, they're answers to my prayers. They're answers to things that I didn't know I needed strengthening in. So I don't always feel like I'm so much the teacher. I'm just learning from my amazing students. You're incredible and I just love you both. So thank you for trying so hard today. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for caring about your bodies. I hope you know how incredible it is to watch you try so hard. So that is all. The light in me honors and salutes the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for everything. You're amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
You too.